Here's Cottonwood Mayor Diane Jones.
Hello. Welcome to Inside Cottonwood. This is Mayor Diane Jones, your host, and we have with us today Barbie Hart, who is the coordinator for the Verde Valley Birding and Nature Festival. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm very well, and thank you so much for being here, taking your time to come and share some information with us.
Oh, my pleasure.
So who sponsors the Verde Valley Birding and Nature Festival?
Actually, we have a lot of sponsors.
Yes.
To tell you a little bit about the festival, it started about 11 years ago. This is our 11th annual.
This is the 11th, okay.
11th annual, yes, we've been doing this. It started as an idea I had that people weren't really aware of the great birding that we have here in the Verde Valley, and that people who bird are actually really good tourists. They come into the area, they're highly educated, they're caring people.
They have a lot of disposable income.
They do. And so kind of to promote the Arizona State Parks and to promote the Verde Valley, I created the event.
And at the time you were working?
At the time I worked for the Arizona State Parks.
Okay.
I was their interpretive education planner. So I got to plan a lot of neat, fun things, and this is one of the things I did. But since then I have retired, but I'm still doing it as a volunteer. And it's really partnerships that help that put this thing together. Arizona State Parks, of course, is one of those partners. The other partner is the Cottonwood Chamber of Commerce. They're the ones that kind of stepped up to the plate when we were just starting and helped us to get this thing going. And other partners, of course, are the Audubon Society, the Northern Arizona Audubon Society that we have here. Great people over there. And over the years, many people have joined us as partners and sponsors. We have, of course, the city of Cottonwood itself, the U.S. Forest Service, the National Park Service.
Game and fish.
Game and fish, of course, we couldn't do it without them. And so there's many entities that come together.
Then when you start mentioning, you're always going to miss one. But
oh,
it's
yeah,
just,
I hate to do that.
Just so appreciated. And you have a lot of community volunteers. Could you do this without your volunteers?
Oh, the whole thing is totally volunteer. Right now we have no paid people whatsoever. Like I said, it started out that way, but it hasn't ended that way. We're just continuing it through volunteers. So the people that are on what we call our planning committee are all people that, some of them represent different groups, like some of them represent the Forest Service or they might represent the Audubon Society, but they themselves are all volunteering their time to do it.
You have also local merchants that help you with vans, and you have a Psychologist and...
Oh, again, you start naming them and you're going to miss somebody.
You do.
But yes,
our school systems, local school systems help out.
Absolutely. And like you said, many of our businesses too. The event does bring people into the valley, and of course that hopefully helps our business community.
So you could actually say that the Birding and Nature Festival contributes to our local economy through tourism.
Absolutely. I don't think many people realize how important wildlife watching as a whole is to our economy. Especially here in Arizona, we don't think about that. You may think about, well, when I go to Hawaii, I'm going to whale watch. And you don't have that dramatic kind of watching here. But bird watching and wildlife watching is something that people can do year-round here. And they did a study a few years ago, and it actually brought into Arizona's economy $1.4 billion with a B.
Wow.
Billion.
And
so when you start thinking about that economic impact, and dang, we deserve our share of it here because we have all these different habitats within a really close range of Cottonwood.
We have two close important bird areas, or IBAs.
IBAs, important birding areas, and those are recognized by the National Audubon Society. The one is, of course, is Tavashi. And the Pex Lake area, that's one of them. And the other one is goes all the way from Red Rock State Park in Sedona down to the Page Springs area. And that's a very large, important birding area there. So those are on the map, you might say. And the other thing is, like I said, we have such a diversity of habitats. We can go right up here to Mingus Mountain and get different types of birds and habitats than you get in the canyon, in the upper desert. So we have such a nice variety here. We have the wetlands, so people can see all types of birds when they come here.
So how many bird species have you seen at a birding festival?
I think our record was 171 at any one year.
Okay.
And some years you'll see certain species, and other years you'll see different ones. So we're always kind of adding to that overall list.
So I think this really is a great focus on something that is so special to the Verde Valley and to the city of Cottonwood and other communities, is the Verde River. How
Yes.
does this event focus on the river and maybe in a way help protect the river?
Well, the river itself, of course, is the riparian habitat that's associated with the river, is where the birds nest and the reason the birds are coming here, especially in that migratory time of the year that we have this event, which is in April, the end of April. And that's why we hold it then. That's a really, we still have some of the winter species here that haven't left yet. The summer species are just coming in, so we get this crossover, and it's a really good time. And the reason the birds are here is because of that river. And of course, when people and businesses understand the economic value of tourists coming in and watching these birds, very low impact, and yet, like say, bringing money to the area, it just helps to protect the river, because we all then can realize that this is an asset for us. This is not something that we can turn our back on, not just for the animals themselves and for our own pleasure, but for the economy of the area as well.
Exactly. The river is a huge, it has a huge impact, I think, on an economy. And when people come here, they shop, they stay in our hotels, they eat, they fill up with gas and enjoy our area. Those funds actually pay for services. I mean, that helps pay for fire and police protection, and that is why the city and other entities so much support the Chamber of Commerce and bird watching and the Verde River and the Greenway and Dead Horse Ranch State Park. I mean, it all fits together to make this not only a beautiful place to live, but a wonderful place to visit.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and we just love to brag about it.
Right. Well, let's take just a minute break, and when we get back, we'll talk about the keynote speaker for the event and the date. It's coming up quickly, the date of the event.
It is.
Okay, this is Mayor Diane Jones with Inside Cottonwood. We'll be right back.